Hello, everybody, and welcome to the My Hero Academia, the movie, The Two Heroes anime movie review. Just saw it today in the cinema. It was just awesome seeing it on the big screen. Like, if you've never seen anime on the big screen, which obviously I doubt because you're here, but yeah, do it. If there's anywhere near you, go do it. It's well worth the time. But anyway, moving on, how this is going to work is I'm going to talk about it without spoilers, first of all, and then I'll say like, hey, stop here if you don't want to hear spoilers, and then I'll talk spoilers. No, there's really a lot of spoilers to talk about. So, first thing to note, this movie is not canon to the series, like the TV series, as far as I'm aware. Like, it's not going to impact anything unless they retcon it in, which they could do. Like Sword Art did it, so My Hero could do it. I don't think they will though. But so yeah, it's a fun but inconsequential movie outside of its own little bubble. But that's fine. That is absolutely fine, especially because this was done with the intention of being fun to watch. Like, the action was on point. Like, the action was top. Like, really, really good. And to go with that, the music guy, oh my god, the music guy, give that guy a raise, because he was on point too. Not just like the tracks themselves, but like the placement of the tracks. Like, it would kick into like a next gear. Like, there's one part at the end, which if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about, where it's just really, really good. And I'll like specify it in the spoiler bit. But the plot, but I'm not going to spoil it. It's a simple plot, but the twists that are in the plot, I thought they were pretty good, and me and my feeble brain didn't see them coming, so that's very good. I don't really want to talk more about the plot because I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, it's simple. They spend a lot of time with like one objective, and that's like most of the movie. So it's not like it's a twisty, turny, loads of twists and turns, and plot twist after plot twist after plot twist. It's like there's just like one or two, but they're pretty good. So there's a few new characters in this movie, and they are fine. You got David Shield, who is All Might's like sidekick. He made stuff for him, and you got Melissa Shield, who was his daughter, who is fine. Like, my friend Matt, he was like, she's the new best girl. I'm like, you're so wrong. But yeah, we had a bit of a argument in the car back about it. It was pretty great. And then the villains, I've had to look up the villain's name, which is not a good sign. The Wikipedia page says his name was Wolfram. So, by the fact that I didn't know his name, he's very one note, and his there's just him, and then there's some he's got like generic goons. So yeah, villains, they're not the League of Villains interesting. They're just they are just, hey, we are bad guys essentially. But yeah, so don't expect any like deep villains, because they're not. I guess one other thing to note about the movie is half of Class 1A just straight up don't show up, or if they do show up, they show up to advertise Uno, which I don't feel is a spoiler, but it's just, there's like a few of them that just show up for like 3 seconds and then they're off. I'm like, okay, why? Why did you do that? But yeah, like, I understand wanting to focus on a smaller group to get more out of it, but just don't. I mean, I get the two sides, because you want to see all the characters, but the fact that they're there but they don't really do anything, it's just kind of like, why? It does make you question it. But yeah, another thing to note is all the characters just are on the island, like, with very little explanation. They all like have their own circumstances, but they all end up in the same place. This is like early, like first 10-minute spoilers, so if you consider that spoilers, it's not really spoilers, it's just saying how they all get there. Yeah, they're all there by different circumstances, but it is kind of weird. Like, I'm like, why wouldn't you just make it a school trip so it makes sense for them all to be in one place? I'm overthinking it. Matt told me this as well. He was like, you're overthinking it, just let it be fun. And I'm like, okay, it's fun, because I did enjoy it, and I'm overthinking it, and that's why I'm complaining. There's not a lot to complain about, so I'm going to find a really petty thing. But that's essentially all the quick notes I made from, obviously I couldn't be on my phone in the cinema because they tell you to turn their phones off. So yeah, I'm gonna like pause for 2 seconds. If you're leaving now because you don't want to hear spoilers, bye bye, and I will see you in whatever video you decide to watch next. Okay, it might have been slightly longer than 2 seconds, that's fine. Let's get on with the spoilers. So, right. All of the pro heroes are idiots. They all got like caught with like ropes, and so they had to rely on the students to save them. I know that everyone wants to see the students do cool things, like from a logical perspective, like from a here's what the fan base wants, but it does make all the pro heroes look a bit silly. Like, let's be honest. But, like I said, it's fun. I don't really care, but I'm just trying to find things to complain about, even if they really don't matter. And the part that I was talking about at the end with the where the music is just perfect, they get bloody You Say Run playing when Deku and All Might are teaming up. That's another thing this movie has a lot of, and I probably should have mentioned it earlier, but I'm going to mention it now, so it's fine. There's a lot of characters just teaming up out of nowhere to solve a problem, and it's awesome, and I love it. But yeah, the bit with Deku and All Might at the end, pretty solid. It was like you hear the moon music start to kick in, you're like, oh yeah, this is gonna be good. It's just a very enjoyable movie. Like I said, there's not a lot to talk about with spoilers. You get the characters. I guess I should mention the characters that are important. You got Deku, you got Bakugo, Todoroki, Ida, Uraraka, Kirishima, Kaminari, Yaoyorozu, oh man, I'm gonna forget one, Mineta, and Jiro. I think I got all of them. As far as 1A students goes, I think that's all of them. But it's just kind of weird they picked those ones and then they didn't pick like Sue and like Mina, and there's a lot of others as well. There's Tokoyami as well. Why didn't you pick him? Also, would have been nice if there was just like some sort of cameo from the League of Villains, even if it was just them watching the news on their TV and it's like, oh, All Might solve the problem. Would have been nice, but overall it was just very enjoyable, very very awesome. That's a good way of describing it? Awesome. Like the plot was basic, the plot twists that were good, but I mean, David Shield being a bad guy, like legit, I was like, oh, I didn't even think of that. I'm an idiot. And then the fact that All For One was involved with the bad guys as well, helped them power up. Again, I was like, oh, that one was more like, you didn't have to do that, but it's cool that you did, so thumbs up. And yeah, most of the movie, it's them going up the tower. Like, I'm pretty sure they showed more floors in this show than they did in Sword Art, but, that was a bad joke. I just want to poke fun at Sword Art, but whatever. I like Sword Art too. What am I talking about? Anyway, My Hero Academia, right? There's no post-credit scene or anything. Well, it's not really a post-credit scene, but it's like them having a barbecue, I think. It was pretty good. Even some of the ones that didn't show up in the movie were like having a barbecue with them. I'm like, why are you all here? It was very, very good. Also, probably should have mentioned one of the selling points was, hey, you get to see a younger version of All Might, like back in the day in America. It's for like 5 minutes at the beginning of the movie. Like, alright, I wasn't excited for that anyway, so I personally don't care that it was so short, but it was I can see if people were annoyed, but I guess it did its job. It set up the All Might knowing David Shield, and yeah, Melissa, I should probably talk about her. I don't particularly care about her too much. She was just kind of there, I feel like. I mean, obviously she had a place in the movie and it wasn't bad, but, and you know what, no, I'm going to take back my complaint. They did set up a good thing at the end with the whole, they're like the next generation of All Might and David Shield, her and Deku. Like, it was, you know what, I'm just going to stop complaining. I feel like I've complained a lot, but I liked the movie a lot. These are literally nitpicks. So, yeah, if you haven't watched it, I don't know if it's still in cinemas anywhere, but if you go see it, or buy the Blu-ray when that comes out if you haven't seen it, or if you just came here already seen it and wanted to know what I think, hi, I enjoyed it too, but yeah, it was good. And now we wait for the 4th season, which I believe is next year, so I guess I will review that. So blimmin', just stick around for that, and I will see you whatever video you decide to watch next. Bye everyone.